Worldwide. I'll get Pitbull on here, man.
Oh, yeah,
Worldwide.
I can get Pitbull on you. The fuck, is Pitbull even still alive?
Dude, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pitbull in a long
Probably,
time.
probably producing something with J-Lo. You know, he's a hustler, man. Pitbull's out here.
Toronto. We got a lot of people from Canada lately hitting us up. Shout out Toronto.
Good people. Canadians, man.
Six. People calling in from the six, trying to check us out.
Yep.
We got Kevin. All right, so guys, you should see my screen right now. You can see it, right, Nick? So in our Discord chat, we posted all of our analysis for this week. So me and Nick post all of our higher time frame analysis in here completely for free. You guys can go ahead, follow along with this throughout the whole week this week. Since it is the higher time frame analysis, it will be relevant for the entire week. So if you guys are struggling with identifying market structure, you just don't know how to trade or whatever, you're a beginner, you can follow along with the analysis. Again, it's free. It's also posted in the Telegram chat as well. All you got to do, come into the Discord under this analysis section, and it's in here. And then how this Sunday Market Blitz works is me and Nick will just go through all the analysis that we posted. We'll talk about potential trade ideas for the week. If you guys have any questions at any point in the chat, feel free to just drop the question in there. We can go ahead and cover it as long as it's not a stupid question. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
No
no,
stupid.
no question is a stupid question, guys.
No,
Yeah,
no question is stupid.
don't hesitate to drop in chat. Honestly, whatever you need, because as I'm covering, my analysis, Angela will be answering, and vice versa. So
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, that's how the session's gonna go. If we do give out a signal during the session for free, obviously we'll let you guys know if there is a trade that's open. Me and Nick don't, for the most part, take trades on Sunday night. Normally we wait at least until Monday to kind of get into positions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna pass it over to Nick. He's gonna get started with doing some of the minor pairs here. Let me give you
I'm gonna kick it off.
capability. There you go, Mr. Worldwide.
That's right. I got the Pitbull thing.
Yeah, this guy.
Worldwide. I like it. I like it. Good IG handle if it's open anyway. But anyway, all right, guys. So we're going to start off on DXY. We don't trade this, but we use this as an indicator because this is the US dollar currency index. So this essentially shows you the strength of the dollar. And we, analyze the dollar because it makes up for 80% of all trade and is actually considered the reserve currency of the world. So, you'll notice as DXY starts to move, as the dollar starts to fluctuate, you'll notice a lot of major pairs like AU, USD, JPY, all pairs directly related to the dollar. And then even some that, are just crosses move with it. So it's very important to analyze DXY. Again, we use it as an indicator to kind of see what the potential is for the week. So we're going to dive into that. But first, we're going to start off on the daily time frame and get a better understanding of the overall trend, right? We just want to know where price action has been heading recently, if any major moves have happened, and then we'll work our way down and then come up with some intra-week, trade scenarios. So here we are on the daily, just looking for the overall trend, which is very bearish, as we can see, right? We were in this very large bullish channel here, huge break, transition, and then just bearishness, right? Huge bearishness, breaking through major levels like this monthly right here at 91.5. That was the most recent significant zone that was broken. Price action kind of melted right through it, and now is, forming structure, forming patterns in here. So we're going to drop down and see what this bit of price action has for us. Okay. So we're on the 4-hour now. This is going to be pretty much this week ahead, right? So these two potential trade scenarios are just painting this next week, right? We're showing the potential here. So overall, we're still very bearish, but we do have a bit of a transition here, right? We had a break, higher low form, and then a bit of a rally into 90.8. So this is still resistance here. We did see a lot of rejection. This is still very much bearish if we just look left, right? Clearly, these are, this is a lower high in comparison to this here, right? So this was more or less a pullback, but we are ranging, right? We did break out, through resistance, but then we stopped at this resistance here, and we've been seeing a lot of bouncing. So, ideally, I want to follow this, 4-hour trend until we see this, kind of push lower, just kind of riding on this 4-hour now. So if this does push up here through these MAs and then give us some sort of higher low with bullish setups, I will be more long on the dollar, right? And then I'll be targeting higher back towards 90.8 and potentially back up towards 91.5. But if this continues to melt, let's say we break through 90.15, then we start seeing a lower high form, then this thing is, definitely bearish. So how it reacts right here, whether it breaks or bounces, is going to be pretty vital in, where we're kind of setting our bias, right? So if this kind of melts through this level, we're looking more bearish. If it's breaking major support here, these are higher lows. If this breaks, this is a 4-hour transition, back to bearish, right? Overall bearish. And then we'll be targeting down towards 89 flat. So really, I mean, I think this is going to play out early Monday. We'll see. We'll get a good idea as to where, this is going to go. I think in the, the first half of tomorrow, we'll get a little bit of volume or something. We'll see. But yeah, that's what we're looking right now on DXY. Kind of a little early to tell. It's just a ton of consolidation right at this level. So if it holds or bounces, then we'll kind of get a better idea as to where this will be going. So let's move on. Excuse me. Let's move on to our first pair, AU. Okay, daily time frame. We're going to start off there. Get the overall trend, which is very bullish, right? We had a massive transition here. This was a weekly transition. We broke through this monthly resistance, tested as support, gave us this higher low, and then a huge rally, steady bullish trend started forming, right? So we rallied all the way to our weekly level right here at 0.76, broke through it, and now we're getting a bit of consolidation. So overall, we're very bullish. We recently broke through resistance, have yet to test the broken level as support. So let's go down to the 4-hour and see what scenarios we could mark up here. Okay. Let's expand this. Okay, let's save this. And this was the weekly zone that we broke right here, right? Nice steady trend. This trend line kind of highlights that. And then the 200 EMA is also parallel. So this is a very, very strong trend, guys. We're breaking resistance, finding levels of support, printing higher highs, higher lows, etc. So very, very strong trend. But we do now have a bit of a descending triangle. You could see, I'm just going to mark this here. If these were to converge, you could see this. It's a bit of a triangle, right? Key support at 0.7675, lower highs leading up to that point. Okay, just wanted to show you that. Delete that and then redraw this back here. Okay, so essentially we're waiting for a break. We're waiting for this consolidation, this pattern to end, and then, get in on, a higher low or lower high, depending on which way it breaks. So obviously, we know it's very bullish on the higher time frame. So we're looking for, long entries first. So ideally, we want to see a break of this level of resistance right here, 0.774, higher low forming above that, and preferably above this, slanting trend line, which would confirm a break of the pattern. And then we could look for, bullish setups to enter on here and then target higher towards, key resistance, prior highs, negative fib levels, etc. So this would technically, or basically, is what it would look like, something like this. Stop loss would be below the higher low or even this level of support right here. Depending on your entry, your risk reward will vary slightly. But yeah, decent trade. And I do expect it to go beyond the -27 just based on the size of this consolidation and how much, if it does break, it could actually run. And if it is a true break. So again, this could be, even a much larger trade, right? So that's the bullish option right now on AU. Now, if this is to break lower, let's say we see key support right here break at 0.7675. We see a lower high form, and then we get some nice bearish setups. You could take a nice short position, right? You could technically get a nice risk reward here, a good entry, nice stop loss, good profit, well over 2-to-1, and then just target, the broken zone, the weekly broken zone that was yet to be tested. This would be that. You'd have a nice trade here, about 60 some odd pips, and then you would reanalyze, and then, either it bounces or breaks at that level. You continue to manage the trade or change your bias. But yeah, this could be a pretty good trade. So whatever happens with AU this week, probably going to be, mostly from DXY, depending on how that plays out. So, I mean, we could see a good trade either way on AU this week. Just waiting for this to kind of make its move. We need to see some conviction on this consolidation. Just has to end. All right, so that's AU. Let's move on to AJ. Again, going to be very similar. AU, AJ, just a little more volume on AJ. But overall in the daily, very bullish, right? Recently broke a major level here right at our monthly, 76.5, broke right through that, and then held a pretty strong bullish trend, right? All the way up until now, basically. So very strong trend, just like we saw in AU as well. So the overall bias is definitely bullish. Looking for maybe a potential retest or something. Let's drop down to the 4-hour and see what trade scenarios we could spot. Okay, so overall very bullish. Okay, here was key resistance, 79 flat, right? We broke through that, gave us a little higher low here, and then rallied higher. But then we saw a double top, some consolidation. Price action came back into this bullish channel. And we are pretty high in the channel right now. So that means there could be a little bit of room for this to fall still. Because honestly, in my mind here on the 4-hour, this is still very much bullish as long as it remains above 79.6. Okay, so this was, clearly key resistance here was broken, retested as broken structure, gave it definitely tested as support, and then, reverse. So still very much bullish until this level is broken. We could see another touch, so it could fall down, right? Give us another, test of a higher low here, then get some bullish engulfings or bullish setups cross into the MAs that we could then enter on and then, target higher. But I mean, there are definitely two potential entries here. This one a little more risky, but if you do see the right entry confirmations, especially on like a lower time frame, 30-minute, 1 hour, you could definitely take it and then play it into this resistance and then even higher. So if you want to be more conservative, wait for the break of this here, right around 80.25. Wait for that higher low to form, and then target higher towards negative fib levels, prior highs, etc. So definitely some long potential here if this does start to budge. So we'll be ready on this. Just got to wait for this to play out. Wait for the confirmation. We'll just be patient and see what happens. But for us to consider short scenarios, again, we're bullish as long as we're above 79.6. So the first thing that needs to happen to shift our bias would be a break of this level, preferably some lower highs below. And then, of course, I really want to see price action close below this 200 EMA to change my bias to bearish here, because, I mean, this is such a steady trend. There's a lot of confluence right in here, all in this pocket here around 79 flat right now. So if it did move through that, that means there would be a good amount of sellers entering the market. A good amount of momentum is needed to break all this confluence in here. So if we do get a confirmed lower high, definitely would enter and then target lower. Probably one of the final TPs to be this monthly zone down here, right? All the way down at 76.5. So we'll see. I mean, again, this is going to take quite a bit to break this zone and to, shift this trend here. So we'll see. We will see. That is AJ. Let's move on to UJ. Daily time frame. This one's looking pretty good. This is actually a pretty big short opportunity playing out. Let's zoom out on the daily for a second. Overall, guys, the trend is super bearish, has been for years now. If you zoom out on the higher time frames, 104.5 has held since 2016, and we actually just broke that. So a lot of bearishness, guys. Definitely overall super bearish on UJ. So let's drop right to the 4-hour and see what's happening on this time frame. Okay, so here's 104.5, right? This was the major zone. We broke it, tested it 3 times as resistance, right? 1, 2, 3. Started getting some lower highs. Then we got this nice kind of like, this is a nice broad bearish channel, right? Lots of volume within here. A lot of consolidation here, big swings, both directions. But again, the point here is there's a lot of volume. So how it reacts now right here is going to determine a lot for us, right? So we know that we're within this bearish channel. We're still below 104.5. So as long as we're below 104.5, overall, we're still, looking for shorts. It doesn't mean it can't push up, but generally, we're looking for shorts. So that's where we could see most of the volume come from. Okay, because again, we're only looking, if we are looking long, we're only making plays up to 104.5. So there could be a lot more room to drop with all this volume. So right now, we are seeing a bit of a transition here, right? So this was a lower high that was broken. Then we started getting this falling wedge formation. And again, there's a ton of volume here. There's this huge push, then huge volume making this falling wedge, right? So how this plays out could be a break lower, look to enter on a lower high here. This would actually be a pretty nice trade within the pattern still. And then we would target down towards support at 103.3. And then obviously, if this continues to break support, just manage accordingly down towards prior lows. But I mean, this is how it's playing out right now. Definitely super, super bearish. Tons of lower highs, lower lows. This would just absolutely be ideal if we got a nice bearish engulfing through all these MAs, some sort of quick retest to enter on. That would be nice. But if this does break out of this pattern, we get a higher low above 103.7. You could take a intraday long position into this level of resistance right around 104.2, targeting at the absolute most 104.5, and then, waiting for a break or bounce from that level. But I mean, this is a counter trend trade technically. So, I mean, it's according to the higher time frames anyway. So this would be a little more high risk, but if this did have the right confirmations, you could get a nice little long opportunity here. Okay, just wait for that higher low, good confirmations above 1037. But until that happens, guys, we're still keeping our eyes on this little short opportunity targeting 1033 for now. All right, so that's UJ. Yeah, we'll see how it goes this week. Hopefully this we don't get too much chop. All right, next is EJ. Daily time frame to start again. Overall, very bullish. Very, very bullish, guys. Huge swings on EJ. Right now, we are kind of hanging around this monthly zone, right at 126.5, but overall very bullish. So let's drop down, take a look at what's going on at the 4 hour. Okay, so yeah, this is the crazy consolidation, guys, that we've been covering for a while. We were looking long ultimately for a while, waiting for those higher lows to form. Didn't happen. We got 2 false breakouts and then a huge bearish leg, right? So this is actually good. This makes a lot of sense that we got a ton of volume after this much of consolidation. And EJ does like to move a lot. It likes to present these huge swings. So this is nice to see. And we actually were a bit overextended, if you think about it, in terms of this huge push here, and then price action was just kind of hanging around this zone, right? So it finally pulled back, gave us a higher low, pushed higher, actually rejected this level of 126, pulled back, gave us a higher low, and then broke back into the range. So that's where we're at now. But we do have 2 potential scenarios here. So let's say it's going to resume the overall bullish trend, right? According to the daily and higher. So if it is going to continue with the bullish trend, we really just want to see a higher low above 126.5 to enter on right here. And then we're targeting towards prior highs and, key levels of resistance like 127, 128, nice psychological level. So this could be a pretty big push. Again, you just want to wait for the confirmations. I don't personally feel comfortable taking a trade within this range. So that's why I'm going to wait for this higher low. And then this could be a pretty massive move because, again, ton of volume on EJ. And if the conviction's there, this thing's just going to steamroll to new highs. So that would be a nice little long opportunity there. But let's say in the event that this reverses here and this was a complete false break back into the range, we get a nice reversal here, lower high, huge bearish volume. Ideally, we would like to see some sort of lower high below these MAs, and then you could enter short, target new lows, 0%, negative fib levels, key levels of support, and so on. So, I mean, this would be a massive trade too. Either way this goes, guys, the volume on EJ has just been nuts lately. So, either way, you're looking at quite a lot of pips. Okay, so this would be a crazy short. Let's see. Well protected. Would be above the MAs, your stop loss. Going for about 100 pips. Stop loss would be probably about 30, maybe a little bit more. But either way, well above 2-to-1 risk to reward. Great trade opportunity here. So we'll see. We'll see on EJ. Thing has been moving though. All right, so last I'm going to cover gold. Then I'm going to pass it off to Angelo for some other majors. But first, we want to go to the higher time frame here. We're on the daily overall. All right, so gold has been overall bullish for a while, on terms of like the weekly and higher. So like if we zoom out for a little bit here, back, this is December 2019, November 2019 over here on the left, around 1500. And now, we hit 2K, right? So clearly it's been bullish more long-term. But on the daily time frame, actually, after we hit 2K, we had this higher low form and then we broke lower. Then we got, resistance, lower highs, lower lows, etc. So we've actually been bearish on the daily, but still very much bullish on the higher time frame. So what we do here is trade what's more, relevant to us now. So we're going to stick to the daily 4-hour trends and kind of make, trade scenarios based on that. Okay. But it is overall bullish. So if anyone asks like what, gold has been, long-term, it is very bullish. And, most people do hold in a position trading style type fashion. So it's just how gold has moved over the long term. Okay. But overall, we've been bearish on the daily here. So let's drop to the 4-hour and see what trade scenarios we can identify. Okay. So here was, let me square this up a little bit. Okay, so we had a huge reversal here at 1930, kind of just continuing the daily bearish trend. Huge reversal here, huge amount of bearish volume stepped into the market, pushed to this low down here at our weekly 1825. Then we kind of consolidated for a little bit. The MA's caught up, pulled back, we got an MA pullback, form structure 38.2, also with the 200 EMA right there. Nice psychological level at 1875 as well. So ton of confluence essentially is the point I'm making. With a huge reversal, MA cross, and now we're retesting that little bit of lower time frame broken structure right here. So this is honestly primed for an entry, guys. We literally just need to see, I'm going to drop to the 1 hour here. We just need to see some bearish conviction. Okay, so honestly, I want to see if I see, actually, I'm going to box this in. Hold on 1 second, just to make it a little more clear. Box this in right here. If I see a bearish engulfing or some sort of bearish variation breaking out of this box, like so, I'll actually just draw it in with a little more of a trade path like this. Then we're in. We're entering on that, okay? Little bit of a lower time frame transition. Nice bearish setups. Could enter on a nice short opportunity in the next, couple hours here if something presents itself. So this could be a pretty big trade as well.
Yeah, like if you guys wanted to enter this right now, your stops would have to be above like 1870 area, because that's where the 200 days on the 4 hour, that's where the most previous level of resistance really is right there. As you can see, it just formed on this 4 hour doji candle. Now it's forming another doji candle. So this is prime for reversal to the downside. And if this thing falls, that would mean that the dollar is essentially getting stronger. It doesn't correlate really that well. But
relatively.
yeah, at the same time, like that's essentially what it would mean. Does that line up kind of with the DXY analysis and everything like that? Not particularly. I mean, DXY is pretty bearish.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely could continue to melt here, but in the event it did break, that analysis would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, DXY is sitting at support right now, so DXY could pop up.
Exactly. Like as we started this off, guys, how it reacts here is going to determine a lot for this week. So that's why we're kind of just sitting down, sitting back on Sunday, going to let the market do its thing, and then we're ready. We'll be ready to execute when we see something, essentially. So that's the potential for a short here. Again, we'll always cover both sides of the market. So potential long opportunity would present itself if we saw a higher low above 1875, which just for the sake of analysis, whoops, that's not what I wanted to grab, which just for the sake of analysis would mean a bearish dollar relatively. So let's see what that would mean. Again, if it melted through support at 90.15, started heading lower, we would see gold start to pop up, right? So whichever way it goes, guys, there's opportunity here. But quick recap for me. DXY covered AU, AJ, UJ, EJ. Look at that. UJ's UJ's popping up a little bit of a gap there. And EJ and gold. All right. So I'm going to pass this off to Angelo. He's going to show you guys how to make $1 million. All right.
That's it. How to become a millionaire. I'm going to give you all the keys. So all you guys got to do is listen. So we've got about 50 people in here right now. If you guys want to enter, we're going to do a little giveaway. If you guys want to get in on the giveaway, all you got to do is write in the chat your Discord name. If you're not in the Discord, I posted in the chat a link to pretty much the bot that you can sign up for all of our free services. We have the free course, the Telegram, the Discord. And guys, I mean, we have the premium services as well, but you could certainly learn a thing or two from all of the free stuff that we're offering. We put these videos on YouTube twice a week, these free analysis sessions. We've got Frank, you're not allowed to participate in the giveaway, bro. We've got the free analysis sessions, every single week. We've got the free course. We've got a ton of other free stuff that you guys can, get in on within the Telegram and the Discord chat. And you could also just meet new people, meet people in the Discord chat that are trading as well. Certainly learn from, your peers in there as well. So if you're not at the point where you want to join the premium services, that's completely fine. Just take advantage of all the free offerings that we do have in there. So make sure you put your name in the chat. That way you'll be entered the giveaway. Little $25 action for you guys. Maybe throw it down, on the game, or throw it down on a nice little trade. You know what I'm saying?
All on black or red,
That's it.
whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Just throw it down. Max leverage, everything. Where's the Discord at? Yeah, so I posted a link earlier. I'll post it again, and you guys can join the Discord. Join all the premium services here. It's gonna be this sign up bot that I accidentally just clicked and opened up. Let me come back over to the screen. But yeah, here's the link, guys. If you want to join, it's right here. If I win, I'm buying the premium. That's the attitude, Darren.
Sounds like a good deal.
That's the energy we need in here. That's the energy we need. All right, cool. No pressure. This guy, you're definitely not winning now, bro. All right, so I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna get started with DXY. Just cover this again, really quickly for everyone that's joining while we already started. This session is us giving our analysis for the entire week in the Telegram and the Discord. We drop all of our analysis completely for free. You guys can go in there, look at it, but this is us just doing our top down. This is how we teach, how to trade. We do top down analysis, which means we start on the higher time frame, work our way down to a time frame where we can see structure pretty clearly, and then we take trades based on price action. For the most part, we're swing traders. So yeah, that's gonna be the style of trades that we're giving out in this section. For everyone that's saying they can't find the Discord link, go to that link that I sent you. Inside there, it says Telegram, Discord, free course, and then you literally just follow the instructions. This is the test whether you're gonna be a successful trader or not. If you could pass the Telegram Telegram boss.
Short all the free services.
Yeah. It's just, it's in there. You just gotta read. But all right. So DXY, starting on the higher time from here, the weekly, we're certainly still very bearish. Last week, rejected the moving average. We didn't exactly close as a bearish engulfing here. We ended up with a small wick to the downside, but overall, we do have to keep in mind we are, very bearish on this pair. As we come down to the daily time frame, if I'm just zooming out a bit, we can see, we've been in a bearish trend for quite some time here. We had this little pullback on the daily, where we started to find some buyers stepping in. We're definitely still bearish. If I were to fib on this time frame, we could see we actually had, I'm going to fib to this low. We didn't quite hit the 38.2, but we definitely pulled back enough for this to then become a daily lower high. But I'm actually going to go down to the 4 hour just to look at things a little bit more clearly. On the 4 hour is where I'm marking my structure. So on this time frame, we were very bearish, ever since these lower highs are being formed. I'm just going to put on a little trend line here. I'm going to clean this up a bit so it looks like I know what I'm doing. So clearly these were some lower lows, lower high, lower low. We actually made this lower high right here. So I'm not going to run through the example right now. There's a way that we go about teaching market structure. Sometimes I go through it on the free call. Today I'm not going to go through it, but basically this was the previous lower high. This broke. We then shifted into an uptrend. The trend line broke as well. We formed this high, pulled back, formed a higher low, pushed up, formed this new high. Now we're pulling back again. So I can fib really from this previous low to this new high. You can see here we hit this 61.8 or this 50% level, pushed up. This is when I'm going to move my fibs. And look how price pushed up, pulled back to this 38.2, pushed up. So this is my most previous higher low right there when it comes to structure. As you can see here, price pushed to a new high, pushed down, broke this support level. So this is why at the moment, guys, I'm pretty bearish on the dollar. I think the dollar is going to continue to move lower. We broke this level. Now we're retesting it. I'm looking for this to then push down into this 4 hour level down here. So with that in mind, let's take a look at some of the major pairs. The dollar, as I just said, I'm looking to be pretty bearish on this. So let's pull up to UCAD. Let's kind of see how that lines up if we have some dollar weakness. So UCAD, let's bump up to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, I mean, look at the last few weeks, how things are forming. We've got this spinning top candle, doji candle. These are all signs of reversal right here. All signs of reversal. This is showing that the market is hitting a level of support. It's struggling to go in either direction. Ultimately it could potentially reverse, but we are still below the 200. We're still overall very bearish. As I go down to the daily, we'll go to the daily first. Daily time frame, we pushed to this low, pulled back and made this lower high. As you can see, I have this marked. So this is my daily lower high. As long as we are below this level, guys, on the daily time frame, I'm gonna still have a bearish bias. But as we can see, we had a little pullback here, push down, pull. Like there's a lot going on right here that I want to break down into a lower time frame. So I'm just gonna look at things more clearly on the 4-hour. So let's just go through and start where would I put my fibs? Why am I looking at this area? All this stuff. So I would originally start fibbing all the way up from this level right here. I would pull my fibs down here. I would say, okay, we don't pull back to 38.2, so this isn't a level of structure. Continue fibbing to our new low. Continue fibbing to our new low right here. And then as you can see, we get this large pullback, hits 61.8, pushes down. This is when this lower high formed on the 4-hour time frame. Then we don't move our fibs until we actually break this 0% level. As you can see down here, we hit 61.8, push down, hit 0%, push back up, damn near close to this 38.2 level, push down, started to break 0%, came back up, retested this level again, never breaks resistance, just holds, bullish candle forms, hits the 200, pushes down. So it never breaks this resistance level. I'm going to continue to drag this over. I'm going to take this off for now. And then it breaks 0% right there. So as soon as it breaks 0%, guys, that's when I'm refibbing. That's when I'm going to put my fresh fib on. I'm going to actually fib because of the fact that this was news related. This is a large push to the upside, large push to the downside. I'm going to actually fib from this level. This level is clearly a resistance level. We hit it 1, 2, 3 times. Last week in the Sunday market blitz analysis, we covered this. We said going into the week, if you guys go back, look at the replay, price opened right here last week. If price respected this level, we were looking to short to the downside. Thing came up, bearish engulfing to the downside. So this is clearly a very significant level of resistance, and we're in a bearish trend. So right here, I was fibbing from here to this low, pulled back all the way to 100%. Remember, we don't move the fib until we break 0%, comes down, hits 0%, pushing back up now. So I'm still in a bearish trend on this 4-hour time frame until this is broken all the way up here. I can actually redraw this supply zone right here. So I'm just going to draw it right here. This is kind of fat, so I'm just going to put this down a bit right there. It's a fat ass supply zone. So yeah, this is the level of resistance that we need to break in order for me to start like thinking on the 4-hour time frame that I'm looking to buy. Other than that, I'm looking to sell. We either going to come up back into this resistance level, we're going to find resistance here, then I'm going to short off of this level, or right now we're going to find resistance and we're going to start to short. On the lower time frame, we'll start to post analysis in the premium group during the week, or I guess like as soon as tomorrow about what's going on here. But basically, guys, this whole entire trend right here is on the 30-minute uptrend. I would not look to short this until something on the 30-minute broke. And I don't even need to go to the 30-minute to make that, to have that conviction, to make that decision. I can just sit on the 4-hour. If we get, as we can see here, we had this large bullish candle, doji. If we get a bearish candle, obviously we gap down. Now it's like fucking things up a bit. And that's why I normally like to wait till Monday to actually start trading. But if we get a bearish candle here, some sort of bearish engulfing, or even just a bearish candle that closes halfway below this candle, that's going to tell me on the 30-minute there's some sort of transition going on. There's some sort of support breaking. There's some sort of structure breaking to the point where momentum shifting on the lower time frame, and then that's going to line up with the higher time frame, which means that we can then get in on the trade with the momentum, and be in the right direction of the market here. So I am looking for shorts on UCAD. That does line up with the dollar as well, with dollar weakness. So let's go over now to NU. This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to bump up to the weekly time frame. Someone asked the question, would you consider that a head and shoulders pattern signaling reversal. Would you recommend buying now or sell limit at 128? I don't know. I can go back. Would you recommend buying now or sell limit at 128? I personally wouldn't buy now. I'm not like in favor of doing that, but when it comes to a sell limit, I think a sell limit at 128 would actually be pretty nice, to be honest. 128's serious confluence level. I mean, you have
100 right there.
128's all the way up here though. I would even put it a little bit lower. I would put it at 1278. We have the 200-day here. We've got the supply zone. You've got the 4-hour resistance. Price comes up to this level, tags this, and even moves down a bit. You're going to be into some profits right away. So that's a pretty good level to put a sell limit at. And then would you consider that a head and shoulders? I personally don't see a head and shoulders. Maybe you're saying this is the left shoulder. What are you saying? Would you consider signaling reversal? No, I don't know. I don't really see a head and shoulders here.
Or just a channel. It's just a strong ass bearish channel.
Yeah, if anything, I see something more along the lines of, we'll do it on this area, more along the lines of this. We're in this downward channel, 1, 2, 3 touches to the downside, 2 touches on the upside. So this is where like the real pocket here, where I'm looking to short, is like right in that area right here. I'm gonna cover a head and shoulders pattern on NU right now. So let's bump up to the weekly time frame. Weekly, we've got our key levels. So the basis of me and Nick's strategy is kind of just start on the higher time frames, mark down some key levels on those time frames, and then work our way down to a lower time frame. Try to keep the charts as clean as possible. We don't want a million things on here. Always trying to clean things up. Like even this down here, like all the way down there, like don't need to leave all these random ass lines on your chart and stuff. So weekly time frame, we're clearly at this resistance level. Things are looking a bit crazy right now, but I'll zoom down so you can see. But as you can see here, this bearish candle, we had a bearish engulfing candle 2 weeks ago telling us that sellers stepped in at this price, at this region, shifted from buyers to sellers. Huge bearish engulfing candle. Last week actually formed this like spinning top indecision candle. So I am anticipating this thing to push up back into our key level. Let's go down to the daily. Daily time frame overall, is bullish, pulled back a bit right here. Now we're starting to push up. Friday's candle of last week, and I apologize, all this different shit popping up. But Friday's candle last week, this bearish candle in here, failed to engulf this previous candle. So that's telling me that buyers, are still in control in this little push up. So I'm expecting this thing to push a bit higher. Down to the 4-hour. We had this 4-hour head and shoulders. So we had this left shoulder, neckline, head, neckline, right shoulder. This thing broke. Normally, we're looking for the retest at the neckline and then that being respected and moving lower. That clearly didn't happen. This thing just pushed up past that area. So NU is a bit, it's a bit different of a trade right now. Trade was signaled on Friday, I believe, right where it is right now. I'm just going to move this over a bit. It's about 10 pips in profit. The stop loss was only 16 pips. So it did already get up to about 1-to-1. Went up about 20 pips. So I would have already moved stops to break even on this one. But this is how we're looking at it, guys. This is clearly the weekly, the weekly key level here is very significant. This is a significant level of resistance. That weekly bearish engulfing candle, is sticking in my mind. That's this drop off right here. That's that bearish engulfing candle. So with that in mind, the 4-hour is in a downtrend. The 4-hour broke support, made a new low, pulled back. We've got our fibs on here, pushed up to 88.6, rejected the supply zone. We took shorts last week, like right in this area, dropped down. I believe I gave it as a free signal actually in the chat, or it was on like the Wednesday live session. We took this trade, pushed down. Now I anticipate this thing, we're still in a bearish trend. So I am still looking for shorts, but I do think this thing's going to push up. I think this thing's going to push up a bit higher. I'm going to look for another sell back in this area. That would be so easy. If price pushes up into this area of resistance, we're going to sell it right away once we see some resistance here. I'm not going to short this again say price fails, it doesn't come up to this area, price just stops here, starts to move lower. I'll give you guys a little bonus here. On the 30-minute, what would I need to see happen in order to sell? If this thing starts to push down and it comes below this moving average right here, I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell the fuck out of this thing. I'll sell it right here. I'll put stops at about 20 pips. This will be the resistance level that I'll put stops at. And then I'll start to line this up with a higher time frame. I'll start to say, 200 days down here, that will be my first target. And then even beyond that, just trying to get in with the 4-hour. This is the next level of support. And then, the following level of support would be all the way down there. So there's, it's not there yet. But guys, if this thing pushes lower, and say I was in my buy, or you were in a buy from the signals right now, stops would be at break even. If this thing pushes into break even, you'd be out of the trade. If this thing starts to break the moving average here, break this 200-day, then we're going to take a sell. And then we're going to put stops up here, hold this thing to the downside. So that's NU. This one's looking like the one closest to a potential entry right there. UCAT, I believe we were sitting on this 4-hour time frame, so I'm going to turn this one back to red. Let's go over now to EU. And this NU order, if this thing pushes down, like I just said, that would not line up with DXY. The dollar is pretty weak. That would mean that the dollar is gaining against the New Zealand dollar. So, fundamentally, that wouldn't line up that well. But we'll see what happens. We'll go based on price action. Let's go over now to EU. This is another one that's looking pretty wild. Let's go up to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame on EU, we had this big push up, obviously extremely bullish right here. We hit this monthly level resistance 2 weeks ago, huge bearish candle. Last week, obviously bullish candle, so we broke back above the moving average. Kind of just one look on that weekly time frame. Daily time frame, we are in an uptrend. We pushed up, made this high, pulled back. Now we're finding some support here. Had a morning star, then a bullish engulfing right there. So buyers are stepping in, but we're still below this moving average right here. So I'm just going to go down to the 4-hour. The 4 hours where I see structure pretty clearly. I have a couple confirmations just in mind. This monthly resistance level, I'm weighing heavily. That weekly bearish engulfing, I'm weighing heavily. And then this 4-hour time frame, as you can see here, we broke this trend line. Now we're in a downtrend. I had fibbed originally from this area. If you go back in our videos, you can watch literally me talking about this verbatim. We were waiting for this pullback to 38.2, hit 38.2, push down to then negative 27 right here, even beyond. I moved my fibs like I always do to this new low right here. We pulled back, tested 50% level. We're looking for sells off of that. Ended up pushing down a bit. Then we broke up. We broke this level of resistance here, broke that 200-day right there. But I'm personally still looking to sell this. I am still looking to sell this pair. If this thing starts to push lower right now, forms like a bearish engulfing or some sort of move through the moving averages, I'm going to start to line up sell orders. I'll go down to the 30-minute and just show you guys real quick. So at this high right here, we're starting to get a bit of a pattern to form. Not the prettiest one in the world, but this would be a pennant. So if I was trying to trade this thing more immediately, a pennant is a continuational pattern. So normally when this forms, higher lows start to form, lower highs start to form. Normally it breaks out to the upside and moves higher. So if you were trying to take a more immediate trade on EU, really you'd be looking to long this. And then I would target this level, this 12200 level up here. But I am bearish on this, so I'm not really thrilled with the idea of taking that trade. I'm more looking to wait for a bearish trade. Even if it pushes up and I just miss out on the long opportunity, I'm not personally stressing about it. I'm not worried about that because I'm more just trying to wait for the trade that has more confirmations that's going to make me more comfortable. So that's EU, not really close to anything at the moment for myself. Have to wait a few more hours on that one. Let's go over now to USEF. Let's see here. Don't AU and NU correlate? I mean, you could say all the major pairs correlate to an extent. You know what I mean? They're not like 100% correlation. Like GU last week was moving lower and NU was moving high. You know what I mean? So it's not like a dead on correlation. I'm sure there's some, it changes dramatically. There's like websites you can look at that
And
show
it's
you.
always changing. It's not like it's set in stone, like 80% correlation, because again, there's economic factors that are happening in each of these countries. So there's always going to be slight differences. At times it'll be more correlated than others, and so on and so on. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like don't just base your trades and shit off of like, oh, it's a correlation. Like, you know what I mean? This ain't like bro science. Like it's a correlation, bro. Like,
and I've also don't just because like again, a lot of people will take correlation like out of context where they'll think it's like almost exact, like we were saying. Well, they'll take a setup on USEF thinking something similar will happen on UCAD or UJ, and that's not the case. Like you should diversify what you're actually taking trades on. If you see a similar setup happening on two super correlated pairs, let's say USEF and UJ, take one of the trades that seem better to you, and then take another trade on AJ, something that's not correlated. You have to be don't like lot up on the same direction.
lot
You
the
can
fuck up.
screw yourself.
No, I mean, guys, if
Okay.
you're saying NU and EU are correlated, I mean, we trade based on price action. So if there might be price action like on NU that's making myself more comfortable to enter, and on EU it might just not be there yet. It could be correlated, it could be trending in the same direction, but we still trade and enter based on price action. So wait for that to form your entry signal.
Another great example is AU and AJ. I'm analyzing it every week, and it's very very similar, guys. That's always like recently it's been both of them have been a very strong bullish trend, but I've noticed I'm taking a trade on either or because one is showing a better setup than the other. So patience pays, guys. Be picky with your trades. There's no reason to take every trade setup that you think you see. Be patient. Wait for those high probability setups for sure.
Yo, Nick, look in your page at the most recent DM.
Okay.
Let's the correlation is dropping. I mean, dude, don't go stir crazy about correlation, guys. This is the way that at least that I'll communicate to you is literally line up 2 to 3 pairs, back test them, forward test them, have a real strategy for entries, wait on the charts. When you see those entries on the chart, enter the trades. Don't like just enter 3 positions because the pairs are correlated. Like you don't need to worry about that stuff, as much as it would seem. The one thing that we do leverage is DXY. This is a good indicator, or not indicator, just pair to use because it just shows the strength of the US dollar. So we just look at that and like kind of use that as a confirmation. I clapped myself doing that, trying to short everything. Holy shit, man. I hope you didn't actually clap yourself. God damn. All right. So the USEF on the weekly, let's just look at what's been going on here, guys. We've been, had this bullish engulfing, pushed down the next week, had a spinning top, pushed lower, pushed back up, pushed lower last week. Bit of a bearish engulfing candle there. I know there's gaps and everything. So, this thing is certainly very indecisive at the level that it's currently at. We did already tap this lower support level down here, which is leading me to believe that in time, this thing's going to actually push up. But let's just go down to the daily, look at where's daily structure. So my daily structure, we had this low form, we pulled back. I have this marked out as a resistance level. Obviously I have this daily mark there. So below here on the daily time frame, I am bearish. Look how last week formed. Had this bearish candle close below the moving averages. Then we had this doji leading me to believe that we're going to push up a bit before continuing this bearish trend. On the 4-hour time frame, so this is basically where I am marking down my like major structure and everything. So pretty much on the 4-hour, guys, and I'll run through. I'll run through a little example for you guys on this one I know we're running out of some time here, but how we mark down structure. If you guys are struggling with how to do market structure, pretty much all you need to do is use this path tool, start to mark down from a previous lower high, to a new low. How we mark the next level of structure, guys, is we use the fibs. So I'll fib to this low. This found support here. Does it hit 38.2? No. So this continues to head lower, continue to move it down, continues to head lower, never hits 38.2. And then price comes up in this area, pushes up, finally hits this 38.2 area, damn near close to there. So then this is going to be my level of structure. Structure forms there. I'm not moving my fibs until the 0% level gets broken. In this instance right here, 0% is getting tested, breaks then to the downside, forms this new low. Then I'm going to move my fibs right here, previous lower high, new low, drag this across. I just clean this up at the end here, but push to this new low. Then price comes up to this level, starts to go like this, starts to consolidate up at this high, consolidates up at this high, and then we push lower. So if you guys are confused on market structure, go ahead, hide the candles, hide the moving averages, just use the lines that you just traced out and then run through an example. Just mark down your fibs, from this previous high. I'm just going to start here. It doesn't matter. We come up, hit 38.2. Cool. This is my most previous lower high. Don't move the fibs until 0% is broken. 0% breaks. Fib from the previous lower high to this new low. Price comes down, pushes up. We're not, this isn't broken structure until this 100% level is broken. Hits this 100% level, pushes down. Hits 100%, pushes down. Hits 100%, pushes down. Then this level of support breaks. I could even mark this down, be like, oh, this little minor trend line broke. Okay, I'm very bearish. I'm in a downtrend. We just hit 100% 3 times. We just broke below this level of support. So now I'm looking to short this. I can bring everything back on with a little bit more clarity, delete all this stuff right here. And then look at where are we currently. I'm going to personally take this off because I'm not going to use that, but I can see we broke this support level that was holding. Now I'm looking for this to push back up. I would take shorts if price comes up into this level and starts to show rejection. So that's my idea with USEF. I'm going to move this one up the watch list. It does correlate very well with UCAD as well. So we're looking for much of the same. This thing could push higher, then go lower. USEF is the same thing. This thing could push higher and go lower. If we go down to the 30-minute, we can also see that this thing is forming a sort of a flag, very rough flag, but it's starting to form a flag. Flags are normally just continuational patterns, of this trend. So this thing obviously pushed down. Now we're starting to flag up. This just means that it's pretty weak, but it's just collecting sellers to then push again to the downside. So yeah, USEF, we're looking to short, looking for it to come a bit higher though before I'm more comfortable with actually shorting this pair. And then last but not least, I believe we already covered EU. Yeah, I'm going to go over a GU last but not least, our favorite pair as of late. So on the weekly time frame, this thing, I'm going to just take this off. I'll just cover it top down. Weekly time frame, I have this resistance level marked. Obviously this level was pretty significant, pushed down. We're kind of just in no man's land right now. We're in the middle of this monthly level and the support level. So we're kind of in no man's land. And it made sense. You don't even know how to reply. Yeah, man. So this on the weekly time frame, we last week formed this bullish candle, but large wick to the upside here. So definitely some sellers still coming in and stepping in, and this isn't like a clean morning star here. In my opinion, this is this is an alert here. This is saying that sellers are still present. As you can see how Friday's candle closed, bearish candle, but we're overall still in this channel. We're in this bullish channel. This thing's been climbing higher and higher and higher, down to the 4-hour. Again, this thing's bullish as hell. If we were to run through that example that I just did on the other, on the other chart, you guys would be able to see clearly. I'm just zooming in. We formed this high, pushed, pulled back, higher low, formed this high, pulled back. So we are in an uptrend very clearly right now. I could fib from this level to this level. So this is what we need to focus on. We don't need to look at all the, previous shit. All we need to do is look right here. We have a couple options here. We're either going to find support. This already double bottomed at this area. We're either going to find support here. I'm not going to long until we just get some more price action because this is a significant resistance level. 1, 2, 3, 4 times it rejected here. So if price breaks back above here, guys, there's going to be a lot of buyers to buy this. If we reject this level, that means we're heading lower down into this 136 100 level, which will be about 70 pips away. So this is looking like going to give us a really good opportunity. We're either going to wait for tomorrow, buy, or if this thing starts to continue to wick right here on the 30-minute, I'm going to short the fuck out of this thing. As soon as it drops below like this, the 200-day, we could short this right here, throw stops above the resistance, start to target this lower level down here. Obviously, it'll be a little bit more cleaned up once price actually starts to move in that direction. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So all the analysis that I covered, GU, EU, UCAD, USEF, NU, that's pretty much it. Looking for NU to push higher, and then got USEF and UCAD, which we're going to be waiting on. And again, all of this will be updated in the signals chat for you guys. I'm just going to pull up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. We got the signals. And I saw there were some questions in there. I think someone said something about YouTube and is this stuff on YouTube? Yeah, all of our videos, guys, are posted on YouTube. All these live trading sessions, I think Nick said last time, I think we've done over 100 of them. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's been most of them are on. There's like 30 something on YouTube, but I know we've done them like every weekend for last.
We're
like
doing them like 4 times a week for like literally almost a year.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of videos. It's probably close to 100 all in all.
There's at least 100 on there.
Oh, absolutely. Just on the Blitz, I think.
Yeah, so guys, this is gonna be our we're gonna do a little announcement now. Again, if you want in on the giveaway, guys, just write in the chat, write your Discord name in there. That'll enroll you. Let me see just some questions here. Totally struggled with that. Let's see. I've been trading for about 7 months. This is the first time fibs make sense. Yeah, guys, like trading is so situational. Like everyone can interpret a tool a different way. Like everyone can teach something and utilize it a different way. I mean, it's pretty universal that everyone says 38.2 and 618 on the fib are like the golden levels of reversal, whatever. But we implement the fibs and market structure and everything a certain way because I've gone through the trials and tribulations of trying to learn strategies, and I found something that works for me that makes sense. Like the charts are literally like you're like an artist. Like you need to paint the picture a certain way. You know what I mean? You need to train yourself to do certain strokes. You need to like really, really like test yourself to the point where everything becomes second nature. And obviously, me and Nick, we have our own strategies. We teach things a certain way. Doesn't mean that they're right or wrong. There's no right or wrong in trading. It's really just about who makes money. Someone could literally sound like they're the smartest person ever. They've got a million indicators and they never make money. So, the person who has no teeth and barely speaks like any language and hits buy or sell when they see one thing cross over and makes money, they are a better trader, hands down. You know what I mean? And that's
whatever works, honestly. Whatever works for you. What else is the other question?
Which time frame?
Ending triangle on GU, maybe? I actually did mark that up real quick.
There's also a huge dude with a huge account who can let a trade run forever. Yeah, I mean, there's traders out there that have the big accounts. I mean, me and Nick always stress to, use 1% on every single trade. I think you guys need to realize that the goal for you shouldn't be to flip a $10 account into even $100. Like the goal long term should be for all of you to get funded. That should be your goal. And you're not going to get funded by leveraging more than 1% on any given trade. Maybe 2% max. Like even then you're pushing it.
Traders are conservative, guys. They're not risking an obscene amount per trade. They're going for consistency. They're using a fixed amount, 1% consistently, and then they're making, X amount of profits. And that's really all you need to do to get funding is just work on the skill set. If you can make a consistent, 1% a day or, a few percent a week, you can get funding and you'll be a very successful trader. That's really all there is to it. Just master the skill, guys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just think of it in terms of this, guys. Like, if you had $1 million, you would be out of your mind to risk 10% on one trade? That would be 100 grand. You're putting down on one position. Like,
Dude,
if you lose 100 grand, you're gonna be sad.
I wouldn't sleep for a week. Like, how do you?
Yeah. As opposed to maybe 1% or even 0.5%, which would be literally $5,000 out of $1 million. Then you can take trades, you can sleep at night, you're not sweating while you're trying to eat dinner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're actually still level headed and you can still trade and you can pick up the next position and you can have a long-term vision, long-term objectives. If you're risking 50% on one trade, max leveraging, even if you hit one win, like, you guys are literally pulling the lever at the casino. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's not
Exactly.
ideal.
You actually might have better odds.
It's not even about like I stop taking trades every day. Like, guys, you have to test a strategy and see if the strategy works for you. Like, there's someone in our group, he'll take trades every single New York session. You know what I mean? Because his strategy calls for, if he sees a trade in the New York session, like, he has rules around that session. So he was taking trades during that session. Like, our strategy, like, I'll probably take 2 or 3 trades a week because that's how I've tested, and that's with the pairs that I look at and everything. That's what I'm comfortable with. You know what I mean? The first time here, I'm wondering if we can use the knowledge on stock charts as well. You certainly can to
For
an
the most
extent.
for the most part, TA or technical analysis is universal, right? But with that said, every market is different. You're going to apply different strategies. You're going to use certain things in one market more than the other. So, like, I trade crypto and Forex. I'll notice I use a lot less patterns in crypto. I'll really only focus on, channels and then supply and resistance, support and resistance. That's pretty much it. Whereas Forex, I'm looking for patterns. I'm using more indicators in terms of fibs and MAs. And then, if you were to trade stocks, there'd be slight differences as well. But
Yeah.
overall technical analysis is universal.
Yeah, guys, because the fact that the sessions for the stock exchanges close and then reopen every day, it's like a completely different game. You know what I mean? The Forex market's open all day.
Yeah.
The charts are going to look cleaner. The patterns are going to form better. The price action is going to be better. Like, when it comes to stocks and TA, I think fundamentals are going to weigh a lot more when it comes to trading stock, guys. So, if anything, you want to be more on the side of fundamentals if you're going to be trading stocks than technicals.
That's a great point too. Yeah. It's true.
Let's see.
Again, it's smaller cap too, so it's more prone to speculation.
This guy Sam's like, if I only take high quality trades, I can risk 10%. Bro, that's called playing yourself.
No, there's no such thing as knowing exactly which direction it'll go to. There's always risk presented, guys. And that's why the number one game in trading is protecting your account, right? You want to use as little risk as possible while also maximizing your profit. And the only way to do that is be consistent with your risk, right? Yeah. I don't even know the last time I strayed from using 1% per trade. Like, that's how consistent I've been for so long. That's really the only way it's going to work. Because what if I win 3 trades at 1%, right? 2 to 1. So I'm up 6%. But the next trade I drop 5% and I lose it. Then all that was for nothing. Even though I have a 75% win ratio, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. Or say you take 10% trades, you lose 10 trades, your whole account is blown. You take 1% trades, you lose 10 trades. If you're losing 10 trades in a row, first of all, you need to literally not, get out of the house, like, close the laptop, you know what I mean? Don't take any more trades. If you can't win 1 out of 10 trades, that means that you're not profitable. You're not consistent.
Yeah, strategy. Something needs to change.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah, if you lose 5 in a row, guys, you should not be trading anymore. You should go back to back testing, trading on the demo. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a profitable strategy.
Yeah, exactly. He just said it as you said it. Hipposaurus. Nice name. 5 in a row is red mist. Yeah.
2 in a row is, 2 in a row is not okay. 5 in a row is red mist. Yeah, I mean, 5 in a row is a lot. Say you have a strategy where you look for 1 to 10 RRs. And in your back test, you've seen that you lose 7 in a row, and then you hit a 1 to 10 RR. Like, maybe that's a strategy that you do. not something that I would personally want to do. It's a lot
'Cause
to.
even then you can make tweaks to minimize those losses and take trades where you shouldn't have, you know? You should never have that many losses. Something's not right at that point. You either need to take less trades overall or be more picky with what you're entering on.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
this
think
is
of it like this, guys. Any professional trader, if you don't have access to professional traders, read books, look at YouTube videos potentially for them, whatever. No one risks more than 0.51%. No one that manages millions of dollars. Like, it's just the reality is they're taking very low risk on their positions. That way, if they need to cover those positions, whatever, they can navigate out of them. Who are popular trades that you guys know? Popular
traders.
traders. There's this one book. It's called like Market Wizards. If you want more information on like really professional traders and how they trade and all this stuff, you could look up that book. It'll give you some more insight on it. My goal is
That's a pretty big question too. There's like popular traders in terms of like the most famous traders or like just well-known traders today. Like it's pretty, this is
yeah. Yeah, like if you're learning from YouTube, and if I'm telling you now, if someone says to you that skill determines risk, they literally want you to blow your account. Like you're probably on their broker, they want you to blow your account. You know what
want
I
you to
mean?
every lot you have today.
Yeah, they're trying to take your money. They're literally like, yo, skill determines risk. Like, no, it does not determine risk.
No, not at all.
No. Like that's unprofessional. If you guys want to, there's a different game if you want to play that though. If you want to just upload $1,000 and try to hit the lotto with the $1,000,
Yeah,
it's another game that you could play.
right. I mean, was it that bet for you or what is that app they got? Might as well just
Yeah, just take a live bet on the Chiefs. Put 1 million.
yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of bets, oh, that fight last night was insane.
Oh yeah, that dude, he got fucked.
Oh, dude, oh my God.
That was disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. It was upsetting. But
By the way, I
crazy shit.
learned account managers on Forex accounts give you the worst advice. Well, I'm going to be completely honest, guys. Account manager is a terrible word, but I'm not going to lie. We do have account management services, and I think that we give pretty honest, brutally honest advice
Yeah,
about trading.
you
I mean,
do.
me and Nick trade. It's like it's not always the prettiest thing in the world because at the end of the day, you can't win every trade.
Oh, you can't. You can't. And if you have a problem with that, then that's kind of like you just need to step back for a minute and
Oh,
then
you're
kind of.
talking about like an account manager. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, those people like literally
Oh,
are just
yeah.
trying to come grab your money and then like go have coffee.
I'm a binary options account manager. Send me $500. I'll give you 20 grand tomorrow morning. Like, yeah, that's a scam.
That's
That's
a
a scam.
scam, guys. All right, so real quick, I'm just gonna wrap this up with all right, we can continue to do like Q&A or whatever, but guys, these are our premium products here. I'm just gonna roll through it really quickly. The signals are 75 a month. This is everything that's included in here. The trade copier, if you don't know about what the trade copier is, basically you can bypass the signals, connect your account directly to ours. All the trades that we take will get taken on your account. There's two options for it, the 5,000 and above, and then the 5,000 and below. The minimum you can deposit is 1,000. Yes, we do accept PayPal. And then we're currently doing a lifetime membership deal. So it's 40% off. We did only 10 spots. I announced it, I believe, on Friday. There's 2 spots left. This waives these fees, this $25 fee, this $75 fee. So it's just $299 one-time fee. And you guys get access to the full program, our lifetime membership, including the course. All of this information, guys, is inside of the Telegram. So if you go into the Telegram, it's being messaged in there pretty much every day. Also, you can just go through. I'll drop a link in the chat right now that you guys can go through if you want to find more information on each of the products. You can just go through there. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then also FX Seed. So we do have our own prop firm now, similar to FTMO. I know everyone knows about FTMO. We have similar terms to them, except we do allow copy trading. So basically, if you guys wanted us to take your challenge for you and get funded, that's now a product that we are offering. But if you also want to just take a challenge like FTMO that has better terms than them. All the information is going to be shared in the Discord and the Telegram chat. So I'm not going to go too far into it right now. You know, you can get all the information. I'm going to drop another link, and this is all the information on the prop firm, you know, how you can sign up. It's called the Master Trader Program. So you guys would just have us trade your challenge for you. And then, you know, the other program is you guys can trade it yourself. It's 80-20 profit splits. And yeah, all the information is in there. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, guys. We went a bit over, did a little extra for this session. We will upload this to YouTube in a bit, and we'll be live on Wednesday again. Wednesday we'll be live for another free session. So we'll catch you guys Wednesday if you guys want to come back on.
Yeah, we'll be here, guys. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you guys then.
Be there or be square. Wednesday, what time? Yeah, it'll be at 8 a.m. Eastern time. We are in New Jersey, so it'll be at 8 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. If you guys want to come through, I'll upload this to YouTube in a bit. And yeah, guys, you know, thank you guys for all the support, and we'll catch you guys in the next session.
Cool.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.